And last but certainly not least, we invite up RisaAqua, a wonderful artist and teacher in our community.
I will try to be on time because I know I'm up against cheesecake, so it's a good motivator. Good, so I sent that little piece of the quote in as my quote. I didn't mean to, I was just being lazy. I really wanted the whole quote there. So I'm going to read it. You shall make a menorah of pure gold, hammered out shall the menorah be made. Its base, its shaft, its cups, its knobs, and its blossoms shall be hammered from pure gold. Great. So my favorite part of Torah is the pictures. You mean the Torah doesn't have pictures? Well, what about the Song of Songs where it looks like waves, you know? I mean Song of the Sea, sorry. Or what about, you could say that the letters are each tiny pictures, right? Because they are. Or you could even say that the composition of the columns on the Torah scroll is like a beautiful composition of black and white and the gray that they make together. But those aren't the pictures I'm talking about. I'm talking about the color pictures. You know those ones? Well, you don't, because what I mean is that my favorite parts of the Torah are the parts where the words make you see a picture, like this. I chose this as a stand-in for all the parts of the Torah that describe the beautiful things that we're supposed to make. In the case of the Torah, it's talking about the Mishkan, the tent of meeting, all the things that go in it, including the menorah, the things that are outside of it, and also the clothes that the priests wear. So these are all the things that I love in the Torah. I love them because they have words like gold, silver, copper, woods, leather, linen, wool, woven, twisted, stitched, turquoise, purple, crimson, precious stones, semi-precious stones, decorations of almond blossoms, calyxes, petals, branches, winged cherubim, pomegranates. You get it. You get the idea. And we get the idea. We get the idea that God wants us, God commands us to create art. We're commanded to make beautiful things to look at, to wear, to hold, and to use. Now, I, the artist, chose this passage. I, the aspiring mensch, know that there are many verses that are more important because they describe how we treat one another. But I, the artist, love these passages because they command us to create art. We're commanded to take beautiful materials and make beautiful things from them. But wait, a few chapters down the road, the people are going to do just this, and they're going to make a golden calf. And clearly this is not okay. We are meant to create beautiful things, but in the service of worshiping God. We're not to worship the things themselves. And this is the part that I struggle with as an artist and an aspiring mensch. How much stuff is enough? How okay is it to want and acquire beautiful things? How do we decide when our beautiful things, our art, our clothes, our houses, our cars? How do we decide when they're in the service of something higher? Let's say function or beauty or quality or depth or meaning. And when they're merely golden calves, taking the place of those deeper and more important things. I don't know the answer. That's a question for all of us. But I have a theory about the reason that Aaron was never punished for making the golden calf. I mean, people are punished really badly for doing a lot less in the Torah. And I think maybe it's because God knew just how important it was to people to have something really beautiful to look at. My other favorite part of Torah is the jokes. And maybe I'm irreverent, and I am. But I find the Torah to be full of jokes. And one of them comes right at the end of the whole paragraph about how to make the menorah. Oh yeah, there's the menorah. It's actually a lot more complicated than this. And if you ever look online to see how people picture it being made, you can. They're mostly Christian sites. And each one is really different. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here. But the instructions for building the menorah are pretty hilarious. They're really detailed. They're just bordering on unintelligible. And at the very end of this whole paragraph of detailed instructions, God says, make it according to the pattern that you're being shown on the mountain. So Rashi says that Moses was having such a hard time understanding the instructions, that the verbal instructions, that God decided he better show Moses a picture, a pattern or a model of the menorah, and it's actually made of fire. So this is funny to me because, you know, it's just like, it's like words, words, words. You know what? I'm just do it like this. Here's a picture. I think God recognized that the Torah was limited by its wordiness. And maybe that's actually my favorite verse, that joke at the end. You can try to describe something in words, but some things can only be understood through colors and shapes, and textures and flavors, and music and bodies moving through space. And that's why I think there are no pictures in the Torah, because I think God wanted to leave something for the artists in each generation to create. Thanks.